"Suffer the little children and forbid them not to come unto me," Jesus said, words perverted by hundreds of pedophile priests. High-level cases of child abuse have rocked the church in the Americas, Europe, and elsewhere, and have dogged Pope Benedict from the beginning of his reign. Just weeks before he was elected Pope in 2005, then Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger publicly lamented what he called the filth within the church. The meaning of his words were unclear then, but now better understood.
He had to counteract a mindset, a culture, which was deep-seated, which was the culture of cover-up.
Veteran Vatican watcher Gerard O'Connell says Benedict was deeply disturbed by what he found when investigating abuse of children by priests.
So by the time he became Pope in April 19, 2005, he had read about 10,000 dossiers. And so no one has become Pope with such an inner knowledge of what he called the filth in the church.
Benedict has met victims and apologized on behalf of the church. The church has paid hundreds of millions of dollars in damages to abuse victims.
In
books and articles, investigative journalist Carmelo Abate has documented the weakness of priestly flesh. He's investigated sex in the Vatican and pedophilia in the priesthood. He has nothing but praise for the soon-to-be former Pope Benedict. Finally, we're talking about sexuality inside the church, he says, about pedophilia inside the church, and behind the Pope's final gesture is an attempt to lift the lid and confront this problem. The picture that seems to emerge is one of a Pope struggling to confront the issue of pedophile priests, but it's also a picture that some victims of abuse flatly reject.
Action to protect kids.
As a teenager growing up in Missouri, David Cloesy was repeatedly abused by a priest.
I just can't imagine that there's anything more important than protecting the safety of boys and girls in the pews.
All 5 of these actions.
The founder of the Survivors Network for those abused by priests, he says Pope Benedict has been a tough enforcer of church doctrine, but woefully short in action against problem priests and against the church hierarchy who protected them.
He's the most powerful religious figure on the planet, and no one in Catholicism knows more about pedophilia than Benedict. He's been in the absolute perfect position to take dramatic steps that will make a real difference in the lives of children, and he refuses.
The priest who allegedly abused Cloesy has since resigned the ordination. The Pope, compelled to confront the issue of abusing priests, resigns his office on Thursday. Ben Wiedemann, CNN, Rome.